This Saturday, you have Tyson Fury versus Usyk. It's finally going down. You have 8 belts on the line, and we will finally be able to say who the best, basically pound for pound. Everyone knows the heavyweight dominates everything, but basically you're going to be able to tell your friends who the best heavyweight on the planet is, and arguably the best heavyweight of all time. This Saturday, it's going to be very clear, finally. Shout out to the Saudis for getting it done. I know there's some weird stuff with that and the money and all. I don't get into those battles. All I'm saying is if it wasn't for the Saudis putting this fight together, we probably would have never seen it because it's boxing, right? And it's a nightmare. But the Saudis are like, nope, we want to see it. Money talks. I think both men just are guaranteed, I want to say 60 million. That might be in pounds, but I'm pretty sure it's 60 million each. That's why this fight got done. So it's not only is it the biggest fight in heavyweight history, probably in 25 years, but it's also they're getting the purses like it's the biggest fight in 25 years. So shout out to Fury and Usyk for getting it done. Shout out to the Saudis for getting it done. They're putting a bunch of fights that we want to see finally because the money talks. Like I said, there's 8. There's going to be the unification for the #1 heavyweight champion of the world. There's 8 belts on the line. Here's where this gets kind of dicey. So I'm the biggest Fury fan in the world. I think one of the reasons a lot of the experts, quote unquote, are giving kind of Usyk such a chance to win this fight is you're basing it off Fury's performance against Francis, which I don't think is fair. And I'd even go further with that with, I think Usyk's team is even going to watch the Fury tape. I think it's a complete waste of time. I think you learn nothing from that. I think Fury didn't take it serious. I think we saw that with the Anthony fight where he completely dominated Francis and just, starched him. So I think that showed us more that Fury didn't take this serious because I do think Fury beats Anthony Joshua 10 times out of 10. And Anthony Joshua absolutely dismantled Francis. Now, that's not taking anything away from Francis because even at Fury at a 5 out of 10 should be able to just mop the floor with Francis. And Francis not only I thought won the fight, but knocked him down. Shout out to Francis. They're going to make movies about him. Insane what he did. Take Francis out of this. Shout out to Francis. Keep doing your thing, King. When it comes to Tyson Fury, if you're a Tyson Fury fan, you know that wasn't the Tyson Fury that we know and love. That was a weird version of Tyson. He thought that was going to be an easier fight than it was. Didn't look great. And so the odds are closer than they should be in this Fury-Usyk fight because of that. I think you got to toss it out. That was a weird kind of hybrid off the path fight for Fury. So if you take that out of it and you take the Fury performance out of it versus Francis, and then you look at just Fury Usyk, I know a lot of people are giving Usyk, the win by decision. I do, and I'll be completely transparent. Fury is my favorite fighter in all combat sports, period. He's my favorite. I think he's the most entertaining. I think he's the best heavyweight of all time. I think he beats Tyson, Holyfield, Lennox Lewis, Usyk. I think he beats everybody. I think he's the best to ever do it. He's good at everything. There's no holes in his game. That being said, the stylistic matchup between Usyk and Fury is kind of a problem. Meaning you have a cruiserweight who moved up to heavyweight, and Fury, who's a natural heavyweight, who's 6'8", 6'9", some might say. And the way these guys match up and the hype going into this fight, and we've waited for it so long, you're going to be disappointed because the way these two gentlemen fight doesn't make for the most entertaining fight. You're not going to get a knockout. You might get a knockdown if you were to land something on him, especially a body shot. Usyk, if you're going to point, one weak point with Usyk would be, to the body, but you're talking about a 6'9" guy going to the body on a smaller guy. Can he get done? For sure. So there might be a knockdown there with a body shot or a glance and blow from Fury, but this fight's not going to be stopped due to punches. It's not going to be stopped due to knockouts. You're going to get a decision fight, and because it's boxing, right, it's going to be super controversial. So we're going to be back in here Monday, and I'm going to ask you two gentlemen, for those of you just listening, I'm talking about Chin and Casey, I'm going to say, who do you think won the fight? You're going to say Fury, you're going to say Usyk, I'll probably say Fury because I'm biased. But the overall message, the overall takeaway is going to be it's controversial, and it's going to be either a split decision or a draw. And what alludes me to that is these Saudis have already stated that there will be a rematch in October. They're already throwing it up for you. There's going to be a rematch in October. Well, what? That's weird. Well, what if Fury knocked him out in like 30 seconds? They just do a rematch in October? That's weird. So I think the table is set for us to get the rematch in October. I think it's going to be super controversial. I don't think it's going to be crazy exciting. I think to the trained eye, there's going to be a lot of chess going on. It's going to be great. If you like boxing, the sweet science, and you know the sweet science, you're going to love this. It's going to be a battle of chess. But if you're just a casual and you're watching this because it's two heavyweights and you hear that they're the best, but you're really not paying attention to boxing, you're going to be really disappointed. This thing's not going to be knock your socks off, Ryan Garcia or a Tank Davis. You're not seeing that. It's just not a Wilder Fury. That's not happening. Joshua Klitschko, that ain't happening here. They're the two best for a reason. Both of them have phenomenal defense. Usyk probably a little better defense. He's naturally a cruiserweight. His defense is ridiculous. His head movement's ridiculous. But I think you're going to get a lot of footwork from Tyson. I think he stays keeps Usyk at the end of his jab. And I do think he wins more rounds than loses. And he should be the winner by decision. Either way, I think this goes to decision, but it's going to be super controversial. And we're going to come back here on Monday, and you're going to say Usyk, you're going to say Fury. I'll side with Fury because I'm biased, and that's how this is going to go. But it's going to be one for the ages because you have the two very best, the most talented out there. There's nobody more talented than these two gentlemen, but stylistically, it doesn't make for a rock'em sock'em robot fight or knockdowns or knockouts like you guys like out there, especially the casuals. But if you enjoy the sweet science, this is for you. But outside that, not an exciting fight. But I do think the Saudis are doing the Lord's work, giving us the fights we want to see, regardless, even though stylistically this doesn't match up for a super exciting fight, but at least we're seeing the fight. And I do think what happens is I think we get 2 more fights out of Tyson Fury. I think we get an Usyk rematch, and we finally get Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, because of the Saudis paying all the money. And Fury rides off in the sunset with, I don't know, $300 million just from those 3 fights probably. Making all the money in the world. So the odd makers, we're looking at DraftKings. They have it -120 for Tyson Fury, Usyk +100. Over 10.5 rounds is -320. So the odd makers have it going to a decision as well. Basically 3-1 that it goes to decision.
I looked it up too. It says it's supposed to be like 150 mil top. That's how much everyone's getting paid, and Tyson Fury gets 70% of that. So that's like 105 mil.
Jesus Christ.
Tyson. That's what it looks like online.
That's wild. Good for them. Siding with Fury on this. Take out the Francis fight performance. I think we'd all pick Fury for the most part. Usyk's a natural cruiserweight. He's, coming up to heavyweight, doing his thing. His biggest glaring hole is, the shots to the body, but Tyson's 6'9", so it might be an issue for him. You'll hear some people say, if they were the same size, Usyk wins every round. No doubt. Yeah, no doubt. And if Mighty Mouse, Demetrius Johnson, was 240 pounds, he would dominate. But he's not. Neither is Usyk. So it's a stupid argument, isn't it? But again, this fight goes to decision. Would bet my last dollar on it. It goes to decision. It's controversial. Could even be a draw, but to me, a split decision at best. Again, leaning towards a draw, and we get the rematch in October. That's how this goes down.